Some crimes don't fade with time, they wait. In 1964, a 9-year-old girl stepped outside for a routine walk to school in a quiet Pennsylvania town. She never arrived. For nearly 60 years, her killer lived without consequence, until science finally spoke for the child whose voice was taken. This is the story of Marise Ann Chiverella, and you're watching A Veil of Crime, where we uncover historically documented crimes and bring forgotten victims out of the shadows. Tonight's case is one of the oldest cold cases ever solved in the United States, a story of loss, persistence, and the quiet power of truth that refused to stay buried. On the morning of March 18, 1964, Marise Ann Chiverella left her home in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. She carried canned goods for a school food drive and began her short walk to St. Joseph's Parochial School, a route she had taken many times before, but this time she never made it. By early afternoon, a man searching for scrap metal discovered her body in a remote coal stripping area outside of town. Marise had been bound, sexually assaulted, beaten, and strangled. Her school belongings were scattered nearby. Investigators acted quickly, but technology had limits. Though crucial biological evidence was collected, DNA testing did not exist yet. Suspects were questioned, leads followed. Each one ended in silence. The case went cold, but it was never forgotten. Decades later, advances in forensic science reopened the investigation. In 2007, preserved evidence was tested, producing a male DNA profile. Still, there was no match. It wasn't until forensic genetic genealogy was introduced that the truth emerged. By building family trees from distant DNA relatives, investigators identified James Paul Forte, a man who had lived in the area at the time of the murder. Forte had a documented history of sexual offenses, but he died in 1980, decades before DNA could expose him. In 2022, his remains were exhumed. The DNA was a match. After 58 years, Marise's killer was finally named. Justice came too late to save Marise Ann Chiverella, but it arrived in time to restore her name, her story, and the truth that waited nearly 6 decades to be spoken. Her case stands as proof that time does not erase guilt, and that even the quietest victims can still be heard. Some crimes are solved in days, others wait a lifetime. Marise's story reminds us that history is not finished speaking, and that every victim deserves to be remembered. If you want more historically accurate deep dives into cold cases, forgotten crimes, and stories history tried to bury, subscribe to A Veil of Crime. And if you'd like to support this channel directly, you'll find my Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. Your support helps keep this channel independent and allows these stories to be told with the care they deserve. Every contribution helps these stories stay alive.